there are two prerequisites to understand the DNA replication process. The first one is, you know, that complementary base pairing. That means A pair with T, or T pair with A, or G pairs with C with 3 hydrogen bonds, and directionality of the DNA. So one polynucleotide strand runs from 5' to 3' direction. The another polynucleotide strand which runs from 5' to 3' direction. These two are very, very important. So now we will see what are all the enzymes involved in DNA replication. The first one is helicase. The helicase enzyme which opens the DNA double helix by breaking hydrogen bonds between the nitrogen bases. So that means this helicase enzyme breaks these hydrogen bonds which are found between the nitrogen bases. Because of that, this double-stranded DNA will become a single-stranded. The second enzyme is topoisomerase. So topoisomerase will help to relieve the stress on DNA when unwinding by breaks. So I'll show you how this topoisomerase plays an important role in removal of stress on the DNA. And the third enzyme required is DNA primase or primase, which synthesize the RNA primers needed for initial DNA replication. So this is the starting material. The DNA primers, sorry, RNA primers are the starting DNA material which is required or essential for start of the DNA replication. And the fourth enzyme is DNA polymerase 3. The role of this DNA polymerase 3 is addition of nucleotides in 5' 3' direction. This is the main enzyme which is responsible for elongation process in the DNA replication. And the second enzyme is DNA polymerase 2, which acts as a repair function. That means if there are any bases added wrongly by DNA polymerase 3, it will be corrected by DNA polymerase 2. And DNA polymerase 1 acts as a exonuclease activity. That means it removes RNA primer and replaces with newly synthesized DNA. So DNA polymerase 1 has exonuclease activity, means removing of these bases, RNA primers which are added by this primase enzyme. And ligase. So once the DNA replication is completed and there is an enzyme which seals the gap between Okazaki fragments to create a continuous DNA molecule is known as a ligase. So this ligase is required only in a lagging strand DNA synthesis which forms Okazaki fragments. So we'll see how this DNA replication takes place. So DNA replication, you know, is the process by which cell copies its DNA prior to division. So these DNA replication events are divided into 4 different stages. First one is initiation, second one is unwinding, third is primer synthesis, fourth one is elongation. So now we will see how these 4 different stages have a role in the DNA replication. So in case of initiation, so you know that if you take these DNA molecules, there are places where certain nucleotides will act as a origin of replication. So these regions are called as ORIC. So origin of replication. So origin of replication is the place where the DNA replication will begin. So these origin of ORIC or origin of replication spots will be identified by proteins. Initiator proteins will bind to this or replication origin. So the next one is, soon after binding this replication binding proteins to the origin of replication, the second step is unwinding. The unwinding means this unwinding process triggers the event that unwind the DNA double helix into 2 single stranded DNA molecules. So this is like done by several group of proteins, especially during the step of unwinding. The first one is DNA helicase. So DNA helicase is the enzyme which breaks this blue color one. This blue color one is the DNA helicase enzyme which breaks these hydrogen bonds which are found between the nucleotides. And the second one is SSBP. So that means single strand binding protein. So these single strand binding proteins will bind to this unwound DNA. So because these are the single, like blue color, sorry, purple color, these are the single strand binding proteins. So once this helicase unwinds these two strands, this single strand binding protein will bind to these single strands. So if these proteins not bind to this single strand, means that again these single strands will become double stranded. That means the renaturation happens. To avoid the tendency of rejoining of these single strands, these single strand binding proteins will help to maintain the single strand throughout the replication process. And the third protein or enzyme which is required during unwinding process is topoisomerase. So this is the green color ring-like structure is a topoisomerase. So it reduces the torsional strain. Torsional strain caused by the unwinding of the double helix. So just imagine if you have a two cables which are like turned, and when you are unwinding this, there is some amount of torsional strain still remain during unwinding process. The torsion will be removed, or torsional strain will be removed by a topoisomerase. So this one. So that means helicase, which makes double stranded into single strand, and these single strand binding proteins will bind to the single strand molecules, which remain single stranded throughout the process of replication. And the third one is topoisomerase, which reduces the tension or the torsion created by unwinding process. And the third step is primer synthesis. So as I already told, when the double helix molecule unwinds, the replication proceeds along the two single stranded at the same time, but in the opposite direction. That means this is a single strand and this is a single strand. So this strand has 3' to 5' direction, and this has 5' to 3' direction. So both the strand, the moment it becomes single stranded, the DNA polymerase will bind and the DNA replication starts. That means the replication in the first strand and the replication in the second strand is simultaneous. These two happen simultaneously, but these two happens in a reverse direction, in opposite direction. So this forms the replication fork. Sorry, this forms replication fork that moves along the DNA as replication proceeds. So in case of like this strand, like 5', 3', this strand needs a primers. This needs a primer like this. Three or four nucleotide molecule which are like 10 to 12 nucleotide molecule which acts as a primers, which are very very essential for synthesis of new DNA strand. So these primers are synthesized by primase enzyme, DNA primase, this one. So this DNA primase makes a primers and attached to this lagging strand, and from this the DNA synthesis takes place. This is by DNA polymerase. So in case of leading strand, so that means 3' direction strand, the DNA polymerase will attach and this DNA, the nucleotides will be added. So this is called a leading strand. So here the RNA primers will not require. RNA primers are not at all required for this strand. So whereas this strand, lagging strand, RNA primers are required for initiation of DNA replication. So the next step is the elongation. Elongation means the addition of nucleotides. The addition of nucleotides to the new DNA strand begins after the primer has been added. So that's what I explained. The moment these primers are added, the new DNA synthesis takes place. That means how the DNA synthesis takes place means, so the first one is directionality. The DNA synthesis happens only from 5' to 3' direction. That means the new DNTPs or new DNTPs, DATPs, TTPs, GTPs, or CTPs are added only to the 3' end. That means the 3' end, the OH group of the previous base is free. So because of that, the DNA polymerase will find that 3' OH group of the previous base, and the next incoming base will be added to this previous base. So this one, as I already told, DNA is always synthesized in the 5' 3' direction, and the new bases, that means the nucleotides, are added only to the 3' end of the growing strand. So, and 5' phosphate group of the new nucleotide binds to the 3' OH group of the last nucleotide of the growing strand. So this is what the DNA polymerase does. So that means all the DNA polymerases will add nucleotides to the 3' in the T' direction. So far, there are no DNA polymerases which can add to the 5' this end, 5' end of the DNA strand. That means there are no DNA polymerases which can add nucleotides to the 5' end of the DNA strand, but all the DNA polymerases which will add DNTPs to the 3' DNA strand, not to the 5'. So this is the molecular structure, of the DNA. So the DNA bases are added. So this is the DNTP. So it has base and it has sugar and it has 3 phosphate molecules, and these molecules will be picked up by DNA polymerase during elongation process and adds to this 3' OH group. During the process of replication, the 3' OH group of the last nucleotide, this nucleotide on the strands, attacks the 5' phosphate group of the incoming nucleotide. That means the 5' phosphate group of the incoming nucleotide will bind to 3' phosphate group of the 3' of the sugar molecule of the previous nucleotide. So this is how the incoming base is added by DNA polymerase. During the process of addition of these nucleotides, so out of 3 phosphate molecules, 2 will be cleaved off. 2 will be cleaved off. So these 2 molecules, after cleaving these 2 molecules, this base will be added to this nucleotide. So this forms a phosphodiester bond. And this process continues as long as there is a template DNA is available. So this is the major difference between the prokaryotic DNA replication and the DNA replication in eukaryotic cell. So recognition of origin of replication. So I told the first one is recognition of origin of replication. It will be done by DNA protein in prokaryotes, and though proteins identify the origin of replication in eukaryotic cell, but they are unknown. And unwinding of DNA double helix, it is helicase in both the cases, and this process requires ATP. And stabilization of unknown template strand, that means who will maintain this single stranded DNA molecule. This is by single strand binding DNA binding proteins in both prokaryotic and eukaryotic cells. And synthesis of RNA primers, it is a primase in both the case. And synthesis of DNA, so leading strand will be synthesized by DNA polymerase 3 and lagging strand by DNA polymerase 3 in case of prokaryotic cell, and DNA polymerase theta in case of eukaryotic cell, and DNA polymerase alpha in case of eukaryotic cell for lagging strand synthesis. So removal of RNA primers. So these RNA primers are there in the Okazaki fragments which has a discontinuous replication. So this should be removed by DNA polymerase 1, which has 5' to 3' exonuclease activity. Exonuclease means cleaving activity. And it is unknown in eukaryotic cell. And replacement of RNA with DNA, it is by DNA polymerase 1, and it is unknown in eukaryotics. And joining of Okazaki fragments, DNA ligase and DNA ligase in eukaryotic cell. And removal of positive supercoils ahead of advancing replication forks, it is DNA topoisomerase, or it is also known as DNA gyrase, and DNA topoisomerase 2 in case of eukaryotic cells. So these are the characteristics of the DNA polymerases involved in DNA replication in bacteria. The example is E. coli. So these are the 5 different classes of DNA polymerase involved in DNA replication in case of E. coli. So, and 5 prime 3 prime polymerization, 3 prime 5 prime exonuclease activity, and 5 prime 3 prime exonuclease at the function. The DNA polymerase 1 has all these three activities, and the major function of this DNA polymerase 1 is it removes and replaces the primers. That means RNA primers, which attach to the lagging strand of the original DNA molecule. And DNA polymerase 2 has 5 prime 3 prime polymerization and 3.5 prime exonuclease, but it doesn't have any exonuclease activity. The major function of this DNA polymerase 2 is DNA repair and DNA repair mechanism. And DNA polymerase 3 has this 5 prime 3 prime polymerization as well as 3.5 prime exonuclease activity, but it doesn't have 5 prime 3 prime exonuclease activity. And the major role of this DNA polymerase 3 is it elongates the DNA. It's involved in DNA elongation process. And DNA polymerase 4 has only 5 prime 3 prime polymerization, and it is involved in DNA repair mechanism. And the DNA polymerase 5 has only 5 prime 3 prime polymerization, but it doesn't have any exonuclease activity, either 3.5 prime or 5 prime 3 prime directions. The major role of this DNA polymerase 5 is DNA repair and translation DNA synthesis. This is the overall picture of DNA polymerases involved in E. coli and DNA polymerases in eukaryotic cells. So though the DNA replication has similar methodology in case of prokaryotes and eukaryotes, but the kind of enzymes and some kind of proteins involved are little bit different. So just go through this table, it is self-explanatory. And the basic rules of any DNA replication is, the first one is all the DNA replications are always semi-conservative manner. And the second rule is replication begins at sequences called origins. And in case of prokaryotes, it has single origin of replication, whereas in case of eukaryotes, it has means chromosomes have multiple origin of replication. So because of that, in case of prokaryotes, the replication begins in the only one spot, whereas in case of eukaryotes, the DNA replication happens simultaneously in the several sites. So DNA synthesis is initiated by short segments of RNA called primers. So these primers are the short stretches of DNA nucleotides, as I told, 10 to 12 base pairs are required for lagging strand synthesis. So these primers acts as an initial material for the synthesis of DNA. So these primers will be removed later, and the Okazaki fragments will be joined by DNA polymerase. And this Okazaki fragment synthesis is also called as discontinuous replication, whereas the leading strand synthesis is also known as continuous replication. The elongation of the next point is elongation of DNA strands is always in the 5 prime 3 prime direction. So why it is 5 prime 3 prime direction? Why the DNA polymerase will add nucleotides to the 3 prime direction only? Because the incoming nucleotide requires a 3 prime OH group should be free. So that means the incoming nucleotide will be added to the 3 prime OH group of the previous nucleotide, which is added by DNA polymerase. So that's why all the DNA strands are elongated in 5 prime 3 prime direction, not in 3 prime 5 prime direction. That means no DNA polymerase which can add DNTPs into the 5 prime direction. New DNA is synthesized from DNTPs. In the polymerization of DNA, two phosphate groups are cleaved from a DNTP, and the resulting nucleotide is added to the 3 prime OH group of the growing nucleotide strand. So that means when this DNA polymerase picks up these DNTPs means, so it could be DATPs, DGTPs, DQTPs, DCTPs. So when this DNA polymerase picks up these DNTPs, two phosphate groups will be cleaved, and and the next DNTP will be added to the 3' OH group of the polynucleotide strand. And the sixth point is replication is always continuous and the leading strand. Leading strand means this is the 5' 3' direction. The replication happens in 5' 3' direction, but the actual strand direction is 3' 5', and the discontinuous on the lagging strand. That's what I explained. So the replication is discontinuous on the lagging strand because the lagging strand direction is 5' 3', whereas this lagging strand synthesis takes place from 3' 5' 3' direction. That means the base is added to the 3' direction. So new nucleotide strands are complementary and anti-parallel to their template strands. That means whenever one template serve as a one DNA strand serve as a template, so after DNA synthesis, the next base will have a complementary base pairing. Suppose if the basis and the template strand is ATG, the synthesized strand will be TAC, ATG, TAC. So like that, that is a complementary, and these strands will be anti-parallel in direction. So one runs in 5' 3' direction, and another runs in 3' to 5' direction. And so these two things, replication takes place at very high rates, means very high speed, and is astonishingly accurate. And the time of replication or time taken for replication and the accuracy of the replication, these two are the two amazing facts of DNA replication. So all these things happen because the one strand serves as a template for DNA synthesis. This means the information is already there in the strand. So the DNA replication means just copying the same thing. So these two tasks will be done by DNA polymerase. So that's why written thanks to precise nucleotide selection and proofreading and repair mechanism. So once the DNA polymerase added these nucleotides, so the same DNA polymerase, some DNA polymerase will have proofreading activity. So they will go and check whatever the base is added by DNA polymerase. So whether the bases added are correct or not. So if there is any mistakes happen, so then this repairs. So that's why just recall the cell cycle process. There will be checkpoints, cell cycle checkpoints, which trigger this cell to undergo repair mechanism if there are any mistakes in the chromosome or the DNA molecule during DNA replication. So just I have these 4 study questions. You should write it and submit.